We did not get the vote from voting, Norman. We did not get the vote from voting. Have you heard of the Peterloo massacre? People have been voting.
But you have the vote. You have the vote, and we are a democratic society. So why don't you go and form a political party? Robert Gordon, I want to give you an opportunity.
We have not got time for that. We haven't got time for that. We have not got time for business as usual. We know that we need drastic, systematic changes.
Yep. Okay. Well, Emma, that's fine. I'm just going to point out that, yet again, what you were describing is the action of terrorists.
It's not, and you're doing a massive disservice to the people who have been affected by terrorism.
It is the definition of terrorism in the law.
Do not compare the damage of some billionaire profit companies' profits, you know, the damage to property, to the damage to people's lives, to the damage of people in this country that are in fuel poverty, to the damage of 33 million people who have been displaced in Pakistan. How dare you compare us to terrorists? How dare you?
Well, I will, because I'm not just comparing you. Actually, by the letter of the law, what you are doing is the equivalent of terrorism. And I believe in a civil society, and I believe that the only way that we can move forward is if we follow the law.
For spectators, which is exactly what you're doing, Dan. It's what you disrespectfully did in front of Buckingham Palace by going to the reporter and saying, oh, do I look sad enough? And it's what you're doing right now. It's what you're doing right now. You're
number one, Emma, you don't know what you're talking about, because there was no reporter. There was no reporter. And if you want to try and grief shame me, go right ahead, because I have absolutely no regrets about my actions over the past 12 days. No regrets, Emma, whatsoever.
Come back. Can I come back?
Yes, please.
Dan, can I?
Yes, I'm just going to give a final word to Norman, then a final word to Robert. So very quickly, Norman.
All we hear about is ranters, ravers, screamers, trying to distract us from the real issues. I'll tell you what we really need to do, and what I'm sure millions of members of the public that are seeing these moronic, selfish individuals, is why don't we gather them all up, super glue them all together, stick them in the back of lorries and take them into the middle of the wilderness and let them get on with their lives, while the law-abiding public and people that have got serious issues themselves that are not as selfish as these morons get on with their lives.
OK, final word to you, Robert Gordon.
Yeah, the climate and ecological crisis is the most severe issue all of us face right now. And what Norman's talking about there is violent, is anarchistic, and frankly unacceptable.
Yeah. And I don't believe in that for a single second. Absolutely, two wrongs do not make a right here.
Doing to protect police officers from the climate and ecological crisis, from crop failures, from temperatures that are simply unlivable.
Well, as you know, we are on a march towards net zero, and I believe we're doing far more than virtually any other country in the Western world. And